Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. I have bought a ton of watches from these big warehouse style websites over the last 3 years, first gearbest.com and more recently AliExpress. If you're prepared to buy direct, you get phenomenal value for money. There's a lot of rubbish out there, but there are some fantastic watches. Now, the three brands that have really caught my attention are Pagani design. Not always a lot of design going on there, but if you're okay with that clone/homage style, then you don't get much better value for money than you get from a Pagani. Second brand is GUANQIN. I haven't reviewed a GUANQIN in a while. I bought one recently. It's waiting patiently in the queue for review. But I remember when I first reviewed the GJ16034 back at the beginning of 2018, it was a bit of a game changer for me. Decent leather strap, original design, sapphire crystal, Seiko movement, $60 US. Cadisen is the third brand and I think my favourite of the Chinese brands. The C8102 is a fantastic watch, definitely one of the best watches you can buy for $50. Similarly, the Cadisen Diamond, when it's on special, they've got them at around $100, just mind-blowing. A Miyota 9015 double dome sapphire crystal for $100. Now, I haven't reviewed a Cadisen in a while either, so I was pouring through the AliExpress listings, which in themselves are a bit of a treat. We'll have a look at the listing for this one today, and I decided that this watch was worthy of your and my attention. The look's not necessarily going to be everyone's cup of tea, not necessarily my cup of tea, but they make solid watches, Cadisen, and this one is very well priced, so I pulled the trigger. It arrived last week. I excitedly opened the package and I peeled off the stickers and was like, what were they thinking? Let's flip the camera and see if we can work it out. So okay, look at the listing. I'll leave links to all of these watches that I've talked about in the description of the video. Cadisen official store where I bought all my Cadisens from. $73.99 at the moment. There's always a sale on, there's always a voucher. You shouldn't be paying more than $70 US for one of these if you are interested. Two colorways available. We've got a gold tone with brown strap and there is a stainless steel, plain steel with a black strap. That's the one I went for. And if you notice there, that is a premium Miyota 8000 series movement, not a bad deal. Like I said, the looks aren't going to be to everyone's taste. There's a lot going on. We've got a small second, there's a 24-hour indicator, and there's a bit of skeletonization there as well. But let's dig a little further into the listing, even if it's just to enjoy the Chinese English. Men's taste multifunction watch. Without thinking, on the direct start is the low efficiency of the design of the culprit, proof that Google Translate doesn't always get it right. And there's usually an epic quality photoshopped wrist shot for your amusement. And my personal favourite, fashion co-location. Cadisen, give me a phone. For a small fee, I'll sort out your copy. Anyway, $70 for a half-decent Miyota, sapphire crystal, and a brand that I'm familiar with. Didn't seem like a bad deal, so I bought one. And this is how it arrived. Plain little paper outer, Cadisen branded box, and the usual bits and pieces here. Warranty card, instruction manual. All fairly worthless, and there's the watch. But you notice something? There's rather a lot of gold showing through that skeletonization, and that's because they've used a gold 82S7 Miyota in a stainless steel and black watch. Why on earth did they do that? What were they thinking? Here's the listing. Clearly shows the stainless steel movement in the stainless steel watch. It also shows the stainless steel movement in the gold tone watch. I mean, if they put the gold tone movement in the gold tone watch, that would actually really be quite nice, but they didn't. They put it in the stainless one. And as a consequence, I think it looks like a bit of a mess. I mean, this thing was on the margins anyway. There is a lot going on with the kind of Omega rip-off, broad arrow hands here, the subdials, the skeletonization, the unnecessary screws and the various textures that they've used on the dial and elsewhere. But what were they thinking, sticking a gold movement? I guess they thought, cases, movements, put the movements in the cases, and it doesn't really matter whether they're colour matched or not. So, did any of you buy one of these from Ali? And if so, please leave me a comment, let me know which combination of case and movement tone you got in yours. It's a fairly solid watch. I mean, 42mm in diameter, 11mm thick, 48 lug to lug, 22 lug width, and 90 grams. There's a bit of heft from the head of the watch. The whole thing feels pretty solidly constructed. Like I said, I reckon Cadisen are pretty good at what they do. They manufacture the watches for themselves. They've got a factory, which they proudly show you in the bottom of all of those listings. But I think they have had a bit of a fail on this one, to be honest. And the movement is actually quite good looking. As I said, it's one of the kind of premium 8000 series variants with the skeletonized rotor. There's quite a bit of decoration on there as well. It doesn't hack, but it does, however, hand wind. If that was gold, if the collars matched the cuff, it would be quite attractive. At the moment, as it stands, it just looks weird. And the dial looks a bit weird as well, with all of that gold showing through. You're not shortage of different textures and different depths, different facets here, plenty going on. Like I said, it's not going to be to everyone's taste. I've never really gone for skeletonization on watches myself, but hey, if that's your bag, then you might like this one. There's even the merest whiff of lume on those very Omega-esque hands and on the two sub-dials, the second hand down there at the 4:30 and the 24-hour indicator at the 9. Sapphire crystal with 50 meters of water resistance means there's a bit of practicality from it as well. And the strap's okay. I've always thought that faux croc was a waste of a cow and an insult to the crocodile, but at least it's fairly soft and comfortable. And it wears alright. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. It's reasonably well proportioned with those 22mm lugs, less than 12mm thick. Case finishing's okay, fairly basic, high polish throughout. Nice grippy crown, as you can see there, with plenty of knurling, and there is a little bit of brushing on those upper lugs. Butterfly clasp, high polish to match some of the finishes on the mid case. It's not going to win any prizes for legibility though, this one. The hands don't really stand out against the dial at the best of times. This is 2:05, 6 minutes past 2. Hang on a second. What time is it now? I've no bloody idea. Once the hands start encroaching on that area between 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock, you lose quite a bit of legibility because of the complexities, because of those two sub-dials and the skeletonization. It's a similar story outside. Sapphire it may be, but there's no anti-reflective coating there, so you do get a bit of bounce back, not really helping this watch's case overall when it comes to legibility. Like I said though, on wrist it does wear reasonably well. There's a bit of curvature to the case, and the lug to lug isn't all that long. But I'm afraid I just can't get past that really odd looking visual mismatch between the silver case and the gold movement. Evident from the front, more than evident from the back. So I'm afraid it's the drawer of shame for this particular Cadisen. I have one drawer reserved for Chinese specials that don't really cut the mustard, and that's where this one is heading. Here's hoping for a better result from the second Cadisen that I ordered. So there you have it, another Cadisen on the channel, but I'm not sure if I can hand on heart recommend this one. I guess if you get the silver and black one with a silver movement or the gold one with a gold movement and it's your cup of tea, then there's a really solid watch in there for only about $70. But if you get a gold one with a silver movement or a silver one with a gold movement, you're ending up with a watch that looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.